Body Double, De Palma's Babylon, The Raw Story. Shocking tales from the 1984 cult classic film.
Brian De Palma, the modern master of suspense. Body Double.
Greetings, fiends. Autoerotic scenes destroyed, rumored private auditions, and tales of unsimulated love scenes swirled around De Palma's 1984 cult classic masterpiece, Body Double. Brian De Palma's Body Double, released in 1984, is one of my personal favorite 1980s genre films. De Palma is at the top of his game, unleashing a sexually charged and hilarious satirical look behind the scenes of low-budget Hollywood productions in tandem with the suspenseful and gory tale of a struggling actor who gets caught up in a shocking, nightmarish, Hitchcockian-style adventure which will change his life forever. I consider De Palma to be the closest thing to an American Giallo director, a fine counterpart to Italian masters like Dario Argento and Mario Bava, but with his own unique and amazing way of conjuring unforgettable scenes like no other filmmaker before or since. When you watch Body Double, you just know that some wild and crazy stuff must have gone on behind the scenes. And boy, did it. It is very apparent from the story, the surreal Hollywood landscapes De Palma thrusts his characters into, and the unflinching, untamed sexuality boiling over in this 1984 movie. So let's dive right into the titillating trivia, shall we? Body Double unsimulated love scenes. Brian De Palma originally planned for Body Double to be the first Hollywood film to boast unsimulated love scenes, but the studio refused. I recall that the 1971 genre film Flesh Gordon might have been the first Hollywood film to use unsimulated love scenes, but I believe De Palma was thinking big Hollywood production, as opposed to a much smaller, more off-Hollywood film like Flesh Gordon, which is also very good, by the way. Brian De Palma's private autoerotic casting auditions? Rumors developed and lasted for years that director Brian De Palma had many actresses up to his house to perform the autoerotic pleasuring sequence from the film. I have never found anything that confirms this rumor, but hey, if you want to pull off a realistic scene in your movie, you need to find the best actor for the role and practice, practice, practice. Frankie Goes to Hollywood relaxes with adult film stars. The Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax rock clip adult film sequence features penthouse pinup centerfold Lindsay Freeman, credited as Alexandra Day, adult film star actresses Annette Haven, who is uncredited, and Cara Lott, billed as Pamela Weston, and horror movie scream queen Brinke Stevens. Holly Does Hollywood. Melanie Griffith's scorching hot look was inspired by real adult film stars Seka and Cara Lott. Oh yes, as a teen I recall Seka fondly, in those Swedish erotica flicks. Cara Lott also appears in the film while Jake is watching a preview of Holly Does Hollywood, Barbara Crampton's first nude role. Popular in the 1980s and 90s, horror film scream queen Barbara Crampton, famous for her later roles in Stuart Gordon's Reanimator, 1985, and From Beyond, in 1986, plays the evil babe who humiliates our lead character Jake, played by Craig Wasson, when he comes home one day to find her boffing some other guy in their own bed. It should be noted that both scream queens Barbara Crampton, and Brinke Stevens, the latter of whom had already co-starred in a splatter flick, The Slumber Party Massacre from 1982, had their careers boosted from the exposure in Body Double and helped them get more acting gigs down the road. Body Double Sexpencer Movie. Hollywood rag and showbiz trade magazine Variety qualified Body Double as a, quote, sexpencer, unquote, a film industry term which is a play on words for an adult-oriented film which is also a suspense mystery movie, like an erotic thriller. Body Double cut to get an R rating. Remarkably, according to director Brian De Palma, Body Double received an R rating with only minor cuts, unlike the battle with the ratings board that he had on Dress to Kill and Scarface. Although I am sure he would have had a much bigger problem if he got his way and those love scenes in Body Double were unsimulated. De Palma gets canceled. Although Body Double was the first of a 3-picture deal at Columbia for Brian De Palma after his critical and box office triumph with Scarface 1983, Body Double was received so poorly that the studio canceled the other 2 films. However, De Palma roared back with The Untouchables in 1987, released by Paramount Pictures. Suck on that, Columbia. Vampire's Kiss, a film within a film that becomes a real film. In Body Double, the name of the low-budget horror film that Jake was starring in was called Vampire's Kiss. Indeed, several years later, an actual film called Vampire's Kiss, starring Nicolas Cage, was made and released 4 years after Body Double in 1988. However, no claustrophobic vampires in that one. Jamie Lee Curtis, The Holly That Got Away. Melanie Griffith once said director Brian De Palma called her up one day and asked her to introduce him to her friend Jamie Lee Curtis so he could talk to her about the Holly role. After Curtis turned it down, Griffith told him she wanted to audition for it. De Palma said her boyfriend at the time, Stephen Bauer, who co-starred in De Palma's Scarface in 1983, would never let her take on a role like Holly. Griffith shot back that Bauer had no say in her career. It was her choice, not his. So De Palma sent her the script, and she ended up getting the part. I hope you enjoyed this titillating little look at Body Double. And as always, please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Freeze! Don't move your hand, Jake. How's it look, Doug? Good, terrific. Hold that move. All right, let's 86 the bat here. All right, that's a wrap on the bat.